Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another phenomenal episode of Anything But Politics. My name is Jim Altman, and as always, I'm here with...
Christian Roman, everybody. What is up?
What is up, man?
I'm jazzed
Do you want to kind of... Yeah, what?
I'm jazzed today. Jazzed? I'm jazzed today. Yeah.
I heard you say I was pissed today or something like that, and I was like... No, I'm concerned about what happened before this. So, recording was set back a little bit, which of course I don't mind. It's not like I'm doing anything better with my time. What happened? What happened to your car?
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, I went to Firestone, and just because I had to get my brakes fixed. And they were like, hey man, your ball joint is majorly fucked up, and you probably have like 6 months on this thing before your tire just falls off. And I was like, cool. And then, it doesn't fall off. When the ball joint goes, fucking shopping carts, how none of the wheels ever point the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, your car, like that side of your vehicle will turn into that. And I was like, well, hey, I don't want that to happen. Because he was like, if you're going on the highway, you'll lose all control and you'll die. And I was like, oh, cool. Let me get that fixed. He was like, but this is actually the first time I've ever heard a mechanic say this. He was like, don't come here. I was like, huh?
Oh.
He was like, we will charge you way too much.
Yeah.
So go to like a real mechanic, get that done, because our prices are ridiculous. And I was like, oh, okay. Cool. So we called the mechanic today and he was like, yeah, bring it on in. And I was like, oh, I was looking to set up an appointment, but I did need it done this week anyway. And he was like, yeah, I mean, my best time to do it would be like tomorrow morning. So if you want to bring it in, I can order the part today and then fix it tomorrow morning. I was like, oh, okay. So I just wasn't anticipating not having a vehicle all day. So I didn't have a vehicle all day. And I went over to my family's house to hang out with my sisters for a bit. And then, my dad was coming home. He had to take me back to my place. And he's a real estate agent. And so he was showing houses and got home a little late. So, so that was what was going on. But it's all Gucci now. My car should be good tomorrow, and it'll be all set.
Nice, because that car is your moneymaker.
Oh, it sure is. If I don't have that car, then I'm down to minimum wage. And working minimum wage for 20 hours a week does not pay the bills. Not even close, actually. Really far away from paying the bills. So, I need that car. Need it desperately. So... But we're good.
So, I'm glad it got fixed so fast. Or that it's getting fixed so fast.
Yeah, it'll be fixed tomorrow. I have to use my sister's car tomorrow for errands. But, he's a great mechanic. Get yourself... Folks, just a little PSA to everybody. You need to find a good mechanic. If you don't know a good mechanic, find one as soon as you possibly can. Because, places like Firestone or Jiffy Lube will charge you so much for like a part that's really isn't super difficult to do. But they're like, hey, 2 hours of my time costs $400 because mechanics are assholes.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of the ones that work at those big companies, they, you know what I'm saying. So I don't want to diss mechanics, but go to like a real mechanic who like has a mechanic shop, not just one of those, what do you call them? Chain. Are they called chains?
That sounds right. It's because the science of being a mechanic is a lot more shrouded in mystery than other services. So, like, you're there for the haircut. You know how much effort, like how much the labor cost of a haircut is. It's very minimal. You're there the whole time. Typically, you drop off your car and then there's like a waiting room. Or there's or you just go.
Yep.
Like your friend drives you somewhere else and y'all come back to pick up the car.
Yeah.
No one fucking knows what happens in between that time, between that and your car being fixed.
Might be fucking your tailpipe back there. You have no idea.
You'd have no idea. So, I just say, oh, God, it was really hard. I almost died, honestly. $400.
Yeah, $400. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, your car almost exploded 3 times. So this is going to cost you $1,000.
Your car did explode. But I rebuilt it. I'm a good mechanic. Can't even tell, can you?
No.
$400.
You have no idea. Yeah, $400. Yeah, it literally looks just like when you dropped it off. Isn't that crazy? Look how good I am. $500.
So that's the deal, is that it's very shrouded in mystery. You don't know what they're doing back there, so
No.
they can say, man, it was really hard. Labor costs, way up there.
Way up there. Let's break your
And
wallet.
that's the rough thing about cars is they break.
Yeah.
But they're also very important.
Because he was telling me the part, like he was like, so the part's going to be about $85 to $90. I was like, great. And he was like,
oh, awesome,
so
great, fantastic.
Yeah, and then he was like, your total will be about $450. I was like, oh, what is good? What is up?
Yeah.
What was that last part? I'm sorry. You think your time is worth $400? That's interesting. I don't think
And
anybody
was this
else said
Firestone
that.
or was this the good guy?
No, this was Firestone, the good guy.
my
It's getting done for
God.
It's getting done for like under 300.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just the best.
Another thing is, like, you can go without a haircut, or you could do your hair yourself. This is one of the cars are such a vital thing.
Mm-hmm. And they know that.
It's like, oh, what? You don't want to go to work?
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to do literally anything that you're supposed to do?
Oh, man, you have a doctor's appointment tomorrow?
Oh, nuts.
Hope it isn't vital.
Yeah.
So, $400.
Yeah, sorry, that'll be $400. Even though your doctor's appointment is probably cheaper than that. To fix your own body will end up being cheap. Actually, no, it's not true. Like, surgeries are fucking expensive. Never mind.
I think that car insurance should work the same way medical insurance does, where it covers, like, so much of every visit.
Yeah.
You have, like, a copay, and then, like, if you have to do something special, like, you only pay a percentage of that depending on your insurance. Car insurance, you only ever hear about it when you, like, wreck it.
Yeah, when you have an accident. Not just
it's like, man, I need to get my brake pads changed, or I need to have my tires rotated. And it's like, hey, here's a form of discount because you have insurance.
Yeah, that would be so. I mean, it would end up being way more expensive, but that would be so nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's kind of true. Is that in that case, auto insurance would probably definitely go up. But
yeah, it sure would. At least like deductibles would be really shitty.
Yeah, you got to balance what is. How often, if you have an older car, then you're probably getting your money's worth out of it, but you wouldn't get that kind of insurance for like a 2016.
Exactly. Yeah.
My prices are kind of high because I drive like a Monte Carlo.
You drive a Monte Carlo?
I drive a 2005 Monte Carlo.
That's pretty dope.
Wrong.
It is pretty dope. It looks all right. I'd love to give it a paint job just because...
Selective surgery? Elective surgery.
The hood of it and the trunk of it had like some rust damage when we got it. So the guy who we bought it from had a hood and a trunk for it. The trunk even had like a spoiler that the stock one didn't have. And those two parts didn't have any damage. So we were like, well, let's just change them. So now my car is red, but the hood and the trunk are both silver. So I never lose my car in a parking lot. That's
dude. Tell me why I'm in love with this car. It's such an average, like regular looking car, but it's so cool looking, and I don't know why.
Your car?
No, the Monte Carlo. I know. I know I'm not looking at yours, but I'm looking at 2005 Monte Carlos. They're dope looking. They're just really cool looking. Mm-hmm. But they're like, I mean, like you see these types of cars.
Were Monte Carlos made past 2005?
Well, I don't know if they're actual Monte Carlos, but like there are other cars that look like them.
Yes, but my question is that a big reason why my car parts are so expensive?
You know what? That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, let me look up 2015.
There's a 2007 Chevy Monte Carlo. Okay, so they were at least... No, okay, so Wikipedia, Chevy Monte Carlo, model years. From 1970 to 88, and then they stopped being in production.
Awesome.
And then 1995 to 2007, and then they stopped being in production. So I have a 2005 Chevy Monte Carlo. They made them for 2 more years, and then stopped. It's been over a decade since my car was made. Like, since any of them were ever made.
Since the car was like... Yeah, since that... what am I trying to say? You know what? I'm going to stutter for 20 minutes, so never mind. But yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so like my friend Joey, we've spoken of Joey on the podcast.
Many of Joey, yes.
We've spoken very highly of Joey. We enjoy Joey on this podcast.
Joey's great.
We hope to have him on one day.
I've never spoken a word to this man. He's awesome. I love him.
He's awesome. But his starter in his car went, and he ordered a new one. And I think my buddy Noah, Noah, is gonna go
another person I love.
Yeah, he's gonna go fix it for him. He's gonna get because Noah's a car guy.
You know what?
Yeah.
I never would have expected that, but that's interesting.
Really?
Dead ass. I would not expect him to be a car guy.
Noah's the kind of guy who finds a car on Facebook Marketplace, and the best thing that they can say about it in the description is it runs, and it's like $350. Noah's the kind of guy that would buy that.
What? And
he's like, that's a hell of a deal. And then he'd fix it.
I love that. I mean, honestly, that's what I do with thrift shopping. I'm like, you know what? If there's a stain, we're just gonna rub it out. Sorry, not masturbate. We're just gonna rub the stain out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, I said. You know what?
Let me clarify. When I say he's a car guy, I don't mean that.
Well, I just want to say real quick, because I hate that I just said masturbate on the podcast, and I hate that I just said it again. Yeah. Why is that so much worse than saying jacking off? There's a good amount of our audience that's about to get real uncomfortable, and I hear you.
No, guys, explore this space with us.
Yeah, please
don't. If you hesitate, it will be weird. Come on, just
exactly.
Loosen your shoulders.
Just be okay with it, guys. Just experience it as we experience it, and it's gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay, I promise.
I think it's the M and the B.
Oh, you think it's the anatomical?
Yeah, I think it's the word that is the problem.
You think it's the actual? What is the word? It's not anatomical. That's with bodies.
No,
it
seems too proper and formal. That's why. It's because it's proper.
Yeah.
It's like dick sounds better than penis, scrotum. It's just. No word to describe it is good, but damn, is it better than the medical term genitalia? It's just better.
Yeah, genitalia. That sounds like you're at a board meeting and you have to say it, but you're trying to find the best way to say it, and you say genitalia.
Yeah, there are other adults in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, jacking off, that's something that you can talk about with your guy friends when having a beer. Masturbating is a word you would say to your boss,
Exactly. I don't know why you're saying masturbating to your boss.
No, it's definitely a word. That's a word that you could say to your homeroom teacher.
Yeah. Sorry, Mrs. Waters. I was masturbating.
I'm sorry I was late.
Oh man, I was.
Anywho,
sorry.
Hope y'all enjoyed that space. Yeah, we made it through alive.
We sure did. Everybody's okay. No one was injured in the making of this topic. All right.
But Joey's starter was $80.
Yes.
Mine was
really?
180.
Yeah, that's insane. How did he get such a good deal?
I think it's because he has a car that when cars break down often, if it's an unreliable car, then the manufacturer typically jacks up the price because they know that you're going to need the part. I think he has a pretty reliable car and one that's just mass produced, still being produced. Yeah. And so the parts on it just aren't that bad, I don't think.
Yeah, I think part of why my parts tend to be very expensive too is I drive a foreign vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's also why everything is way harder to do. They're doing something to the Mazda because I can't do anything with it. Whenever I have to replace one of the headlights, it is stupid ridiculous the way I have to fix those replace the headlights.
Yeah.
I have to go under the tire and pull back a thing underneath the not underneath the tire obviously, but you know what I'm saying, in that little tire section, in the little part that's there's a little piece that I have to unbolt everything and then open it up and reach my hand up into a car, which is the scariest thing I've ever had to do in my life. Reaching your hand into a car, whether it's inherently dangerous or not, it feels very dangerous. Something's going to happen and I'm going to explode somehow. So I'm reaching my hand up into the car and I can't see a thing. I just have to feel shit. And I have to feel for where the headlight is. And then I have to unscrew it, pull it out, and then put the other one in, all while not being able to see anything. It's horrible. It is an hour-long thing whenever we do it. Yeah. But it's because they want you to take it in. They want you to take it in. They don't want you to be able to do these simple things on your own. Mm-hmm. It's bullshit. Anyway, yeah, that is one thing about my Mazda that's super frustrating. But it's great on gas, so I'll take it.
It's great on gas, yeah.
Yeah, but when I used to drive the Impala, stuff was easy on that thing. Everything was simple. because it's a Chevy Impala right here. You get everything here, and everything's done here, and easy enough for you to do at home. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
about
most
cars.
I've ever done is like an oil change, and then I replaced my battery once.
Whoa. I would never.
It was last year on New Year's Day. Mimi and I went to Books A Million, and on the way back, like the car just wouldn't start. Yikes. And we figured it was the battery. So Seth came, charged it, and when we tried to turn it over, it tried and then failed and then wouldn't try anymore. So that cemented it for us. We were like, oh, it's definitely the battery. So we went to the auto parts store.
Right. Yep.
We got the battery. We came back. It wasn't the battery. So I just threw like $200 at my car. And I said, dance! And it didn't.
Oh, that's the worst.
Then we learned it was the starter.
Yeah.
So I had to get it towed to the mechanics. He did the starter. And then just for next year, a couple weeks ago, for those of you that listened to the episode a couple weeks ago, my starter went again. Except the mechanic that put it in isn't there anymore.
What a wild ride. Car stuff makes
$400.
Oh, dude, that's so awful. Yeah, cars make me anxious. Just like all the shit that goes on in them. Because there's there's almost always something wrong with my vehicle, and I just fucking ignore it. I'm just like, you know what? It's still driving. We're gonna be fine. Then I find out from the mechanic, like, hey, you're 6 months away from dying. And by the way, 6 months for a regular person is like 2 months. Oh yeah,
you're 6 months because of how much you drive. Damn.
Yeah, I've put 80,000 miles on it in a year and a half.
Which to some might not sound like a lot, but like...
No, like before, like I drove the Impala. So I drove an Impala my first year driving Domino's. And then I switched over to the Mazda. The Impala is like mad old. It's like really old, and it's been driven for years in our family. Yeah. The Mazda is 2014, and we got it in like 2017, and my parents drove it like 40,000 miles in 4 years, and then in a year and a half, I've taken it up to 120. And now it has more than the Impala. Like I drove that thing a lot because I drove it a lot in the other city that I lived in because I worked like 70 hours a week there.
How many miles does it have?
Right now?
Yeah.
It's at like 140.
Okay.
So
Monte Carlo is at like
a lot.
160 to 180. I think it's 160 some.
Oh wow. It's
a 2005.
I was about to say that's not too bad because it's old.
I think it sat in someone's garage for a long time, but it's
that would make sense.
A 2005 Chevy Monte Carlo seems like the kind of car that someone would have as their pretty car.
Yeah.
It's my only car, so it's getting a lot more usage now that it's in my hands, even though we're trying to get rid of it. Not actively. Yeah. We're planning to get rid of it as soon as we have the money to
of course.
Buy a van. We want to get a van.
Oh, I love that. You and your lovely wife are totally van people. I see it. Like
we're not like people... a minivan. Like we want to get like both of us have the cockpit, and then behind us is enough room for like a bed, a small bar, a place where we can drive somewhere. And if we need to spend a weekend there, that's our living space. No need for a motel, van life.
Yeah, I totally see that for you too. Like that just fits so perfectly.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. Yeah, that's what my parents want to do when they get a little bit older. Is they want to just buy a van for like practically rent it. Just buy a van for a year, travel across the U.S. and just live in that van, man, just for a year. Just do it, man.
Just do it.
Just do it because they're getting old. So
yeah,
you know, your body can really only take van life for so long, and as you get older, that amount of time that you can handle van life gets shorter and shorter. So. Yeah, but no, that honestly sounds like a blast. Like to do that, oh my gosh, I can't get comfy. There used to be a time in my life where I was like, where I really wanted to do that, but I knew I couldn't because I have a lot of medical equipment that requires space and electrical outlets and things like that, and it just wasn't going to work. Now, that's not like a big concern of mine anymore. Thanks to modern medicine. Thank you, modern medicine. And so now, like, van life is possible for me, and honestly. Sounds like a blast. I might venture into that idea later on, but
heck yeah, you and I will we'll do a little caravan thing when you're touring.
That would be fun when I'm touring.
Yeah, city to city, man.
Jeez, I would love to tour. That would be a blast.
I know it'd be awesome. We'll caravan.
Let's do. we haven't really done the week recap, but
we haven't even rolled the intro, brother. We're 20 minutes in.
I was about to say, let's roll the intro. We can do the week recap, and we're gonna have topics today.
Do you have ideas?
Oh yeah, I've got something to fucking talk about. Yeah, I do, big time.
Okay, then. All right then, guys. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and roll the tape. Hello, everybody. This is Jim and Christian,
and you're listening to Anything But Politics.
Fuck yeah! And welcome back, everybody. I apologize. During the intro being rolled, Christian got a call. He had to leave. I'm not here alone, however, because we have a little surprise guest this week. Everybody, just for this kind of midsection, maybe Christian will be back after the ad roll happens. But for now, heads up, get down, everybody.
It's good to be here.
Yay!
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Your accent sounds a lot thicker than when you sing.
Yeah. 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 I can't even do the accent. Your accent goes away when you sing.
Yeah.
No, what's up?
Oh yeah. So how's it feel to have your first leaked song? I mean, that's when you know you're hitting it big, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, you really feel like you've made it once somebody leaks your song. It's amazing when somebody who
is so close to you,
who's so
who
close
you trusted.
To you, yeah, that you were like, I think I can trust them enough to show them my unfinished song, and they're not going to put it out early. It takes a lot for you to have the confidence in somebody to do that, and then when they just completely, ignore your wishes and go, you know what, the world needs to hear this. So my song leaked this week,
and it was Christian.
It was me, yeah. I leaked my song because I felt like, fuck that guy. He deserves it. Dude's an asshole. And
have you listened to his podcast? Guy's ego is through the roof.
For real. He had all this shit prepared that he was going to do the week of release, and now he can't do any of it. Ha ha ha, what a loser.
What did you have planned?
I had videos planned. I had a bunch of posts planned. This was going to be the week where it all came together. And I've got just empty projects in my computer that I deleted. Sucks, man. It sucks. But so my song was scheduled. I was wanting it scheduled to come out Friday. Friday the 9th. And that's what I told everybody. And I made all these I made a promo video, and
we said it on the podcast.
We said it on the podcast. April 9th. It's going to be April 9th. And then April 5th rolled around, and I got a text at 2 p.m. from a friend who was like, "Hey man, I got on my notifications on Spotify that you dropped a song. What's this all about?" And I was like, "Oh, no." So I looked, and I was like, wow, there it is. It sure is. It's right there. And I never got a message from, usually a week before release, I get a message being like, your release is ready. It's coming out in a week. So get ready, do all your marketing and blah, blah, blah. That would have been really nice to know last week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would have been great. But this was the one time they decided not to do it. They're like, he's got this. He's got it under control.
He's done this how many times now? Yeah, we're sure he'll remember.
He's put out 6 releases. I'm sure he didn't fuck it up. I'm sure of it. He totally couldn't have possibly fucked it up because he's, so experienced in this. Yeah, man, it was a bummer. But it actually is doing okay. It is doing okay. I couldn't do all the things that I wanted, but it's doing all right. I believe it's at 250 now.
Nice.
250 in the first, not even 48 hours yet. It hasn't even been 48 hours. And start to finish got up to 200 in the first week, maybe the first 4 or 5 days. So it is way outpacing the other stuff. I'm already a fourth of the way to 1,000 in the first 2 days. So
hell yeah.
It's going well. I've got a lot of messages from people saying how much they like it and how much I've improved since the last release, which that's what I was hoping for. So it feels good, man.
It's wicked. I love it. It is fantastic.
I'm pumped about it. Release week is always fun too. I just this is what I did all the work for. I worked hours and hours and hours all for release week and to feel all the serotonin. It's been nice. It's been really nice.
Well, I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. On to the next one, I guess. Submitted it to some playlists. I don't think they picked it up, but I expected that. I'm not. I'm just not there yet. I know I'm close, but I'm not there yet.
And I realized this today, that back in December when I listened to it, I think that we had opened up a realm of discussion that it was reminiscent of Next Up Forever.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that, yeah.
It was reminiscent of Next Up Forever by AJR. However, I thought about that today specifically because in listening to the new track, it's less so.
Yeah.
I think the things that you added between December's final cut and the final release brought a lot of your own sound to it and really distinguished it from anyone drawing that parallel.
Yeah, I agree. What is crazy about the song is that I wrote it before Next Up Forever came out.
Yeah, you wrote this in 2017, early 2017?
I wrote it in 2019. Like, I wrote it, and then a couple weeks later, AJR dropped the album.
Wait,
where Next Up Forever was on. Huh?
Oh, Next Up Forever did come out in 2019.
Yeah,
time is so weird for me.
Right? Yeah, 2019. So I started writing.
Because 2019 is 2 years ago. My brain went 2017 is at least only like 2 years ago.
Yeah, right? Nope. 2019 was 2 years ago. That's fucking wild. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I started writing it like a couple weeks before the album dropped because I was listening to a lot of AJR and I was taking like ideas and there was a lot of AJR type styles went into the song.
Yes.
And I was like, this is going to be sick. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be like this cool big feel. And then they dropped Next Up Forever and I was like, wait, why does this kind of sound a little bit like it? And I looked at the chord progression. I was like, oh, because it's exactly the same and it's got like similar instrumentation that I wanted, which sucks. And it honestly is kind of close, like similar subject matter too. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's not exact, but it's kind of close. So that was a bummer at the time. And I was like, do I even put it out? Now it looks like I've been fucking copying. And no, I think I did change it enough to where it's not like really close.
Yeah.
You can tell I took ideas from AJR and inspiration, but you know what? They've taken like full on, like the fucking, which song? Way Less Sad is literally, the whole part is from
Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it's Simon and Garfunkel.
The last 5 seconds of a Simon and Garfunkel song.
Yeah, they just took that and was like, let's make a song out of that last 5 seconds. So don't even get on me about stealing.
That's what music is.
It's exactly what music is. It's people going, hey, that was cool. I want to do that in a different way. And then they do it in a different way.
I want to add a sound to it. If you take any song, and this is kind of cheap, but if you take any song and add something, I mean, like there are a lot of quote unquote remixes on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and it's literally just a song with a beat over it.
Exactly.
There's like one of my favorites is a Singin' in the Rain remix. It's just Singin' in the Rain, right, but with a trap beat behind it, and I fucking love it.
Yeah?
But like, yeah, no, I love it. But
yeah,
that's what it is, because now it's its own song, because like if I'm looking it up, that's the one I'm looking for.
Exactly.
You know, you add your own song to it, and in a sense, it does become yours. And you didn't do anything like that. You didn't even sample their song. You just took inspiration of their sound, which can be found in, the trumpets?
Yeah, a lot of the brass, a lot of the strings, a lot of like that type of... And not a whole lot in the drums. Mm-hmm. I'm still working on trying to like fill out drums. Drums are hard.
Hey, the drums sound great.
Really?
Some of the fills are fucking fantastic. What is the one that's when all the first off, a huge musical thing that I am a fan of, like I fucking love this device, is when you're building, fuck it, take all the music out and just hit that vocal.
Yeah,
you do that near the end of the song. Does that have a vocabulary term?
I always refer to it as a musical dropout.
I love that shit.
Me too.
I'm a musical dropout.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Anywho,
I'm typing through the camera. Yeah, like a musical dropout. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I don't do it super often because I don't want to beat it to death.
You fucking killed it.
When it fits, it fucking fits, man.
And fit. The drum fill coming back in. Yep.
Yeah.
I love that beat.
Yeah, originally when I did the musical dropout, I did also. If you don't know what we're talking about, go ahead and listen. I don't like to say go.
Hey guys, just for sake of conversation, I wish I had hair to
exactly.
Just for sake of conversation, go stream my song on Spotify.
20 times. So, but if you want to hear the context, so
link in the description, by the way, for YouTube and Spotify. You should be able to look at the description. There will be a link.
Thanks.
It's a vocal rest. Heads up, get down.
Yeah. So
fucking
so
banger.
That when it comes back in, originally I just had nothing coming back in. It was just going to drop.
Yeah.
And I was like, and when I did that, I was like, I don't like it.
It sounds a little empty.
It just sounded like, why did I do that? Like, it doesn't sound like it had any reason to it.
Yeah.
And when I added in those drums, and it took me a long time to figure out the right way I wanted to do it.
The cadence, the correct cadence to do it at.
Yes. And once I found it, I was like, that's exactly the amount of like badassery it needed.
Yes.
To just kick it right back into gear. And I hate that it only kicks it back into gear for like 20 seconds. But
yeah, it's really near the end of the song. But
it really
I mean,
is, like,
that's the mentality of leave them wanting more.
Exactly.
And I do, and that's the thing. That song, that song makes me fucking. I know it's a lot of work, and it's like years of work. But shit, I want an album.
Yes. It's on its way. I've got.
Oh, God.
It's close, man. I've got everything recorded for the album. I have one more thing that I'm debating. There are 2 songs that I have. I want it to be a 12-track album, and right now I've got a list of 13, and I don't know. I think I know what I'm going to do.
Cut.
Yeah, I know what I need to cut, but the problem is the 13th that I'm bringing in was written 2 days ago. But I really like where it went, and it fits the vibe of the album perfectly.
You know what? Do you like the song? The 13th song, do you like it?
I love it.
Put it on the fucking album. Make a 13 track.
I have to take because.
Why?
Well, one, because the one I am taking out, they have similar vibes, and I don't want the 2 similar vibes in because I do feel like it's going to break the momentum of the album.
Do you feel like one takes away from the other?
I think so. They're both like really slow type piano. They're not slow piano ballads. Okay, so what it is so the way the album is constructed is the first 6 songs, bangers, just like straight up. Some of them are a little more mellow than others, but like that's where Start to Finish is. It's where Lucas is, and it's where Vocal Rest is, and it's where my next single is as well, coming out soon. So, and then there's 2 other songs that are hard hitters, and then the latter half of the album starts to come down to a close, and then it ends on kind of a cliffhanger that will be resolved in my second album.
Nice.
Yeah. So the one that is in between those 2, track number 7, I don't want 2 of those. Like, I don't need 2.
Yeah.
And so, but they're both transition type songs where it's like, okay, this is coming to a close. Time to slow down into this, like a more mellow feel.
Yeah.
So, and the one that's in there now, I'm not a huge fan of. It just doesn't fit. It's not what I want it to be. And I don't think I can make it what I want it to be. So I think I'm just going to cut it. Yeah. Out of the 12 songs, it is my 12th favorite. So,
yes. But
I also don't want to bring in this new song just because of recency bias. Like, I don't want to bring in the new song just because, I like it better because it's newer. Like, I want it to actually have validity. And I showed it to a couple people today, and they were like, there's validity. Like, it's a good song. If
it's its own thing, then yes. I understand the idea of I have 2 songs, but they're so similar that on their own, they're both fantastic. But next to each other on an album, they would take away from each other.
It clashes.
They're stronger apart than they are together. So you can either hold on to the one you like less, add to it, and just put it out at a later date. Or, depending on how you feel about it, just scrap it or do whatever you rework it, you know?
The interesting part about it is it's actually one of the songs that was on the EP. So it's already been released. I just wanted to remaster it because it was horribly done.
Yeah.
And it had more potential than what I was able to do with it at the time. But I think I'm just going to have to let it go. I think it's just going to have to be one of those songs. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, which I hate because there's like a whole project file of the whole song recorded, and I had already started mixing it and stuff. But I would rather kind of start over and redo redo it better than put out something that I'm not 100% proud of. So
100%. I feel that.
Yeah. So, yep, 12-track album should be. I'm hoping, because I've got the next single coming out relatively soon. I'm almost done with it. I'm hoping I can finish the album and get it released before the end of the year. I think it's going to be a 2021 drop. So, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I've gotten a lot faster at doing the things that I need to do for a song. Because that was what I wanted to work on next, was like, I definitely feel the improvement in quality, but I want to be able to do it quicker, because vocal rest took way too long. It took such a long time to do.
That's the thing. And the more work you put in now, the better you're going to get at it, and the faster you're going to be able to produce these things.
Exactly. So,
and you never want to speed through things, but at a certain point, you're going to reach that sweet spot of, this is a good sound, and it only takes me X amount of time to make. Yeah. So I'll be able to put out whatever I want to put out when I want to put out.
Exactly. And the biggest issue that came up with vocal rest is I had to take a break because I was listening to the song every day for hours. One of the things that people don't tell you when you start getting into music, be prepared to listen to your own music all day long. It's painful. It's horrible. And then you struggle listening to it afterwards. But yeah, so I would listen to it all day long, and I started to lose perspective. So I would start changing things and not noticing change. And I was reading an article and watching lots of videos, and they were like, the second that happens, take a break. Yeah. You need to have that perspective. So I had to take like a 2-week long break where I could not work on any of vocal rest. And then I came back to it, got all the perspective back, and was able to finish it up. But it's because it took so long. Like I needed to move through it quicker, because it took like 3 or 4 months. One song should not take 3 or 4 months. I'd love to get that down to like a month at longest. So anyway, long-windedness about my stuff, but I'm pumped about it. It was a good release. I'm very excited. It's going well. Super pumped about the future. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm also excited, because when I brought up the fact that I was going to be talking about your music, I was like, do I know what this is about? And you were like, yeah, you know, so I brought in your music. Yeah. You said I was wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
What the hell were you going to talk about?
Well, I want to hear about your week first. How was your week, buddy?
Weekend recap.
Yeah. Just did mine, so.
Busy.
Really?
Okay, not busy. It is getting prepared for busy.
Ooh, because that's worse than busy.
Yeah, because essentially we got a letter in the mail from immigration, and Mimi and I are going to be having our interview early next month. And then I emailed my lawyer and I was like, hey, we got this letter. Do we need to have a meeting before I have that interview? And he was like, yes, we need to meet in person. So there's the interview. There's the appointment that I have with my lawyer to prepare for the interview. I scheduled a appointment for the vet for one of my cats today. Oh. I am also setting one up for a groomer for my other cat, because she's a long hair cat. And near the very end of when it started getting cold out, she got like some like a mat under either armpit where the hair just matted, because we try to brush her all we can, but so much hair comes off this cat.
Yeah.
But she developed like one mat under either arm, and then from there on out, anytime we try to brush her, she will not let us get near them. So they're getting worse steadily. And the worst part of it is that it happened at the most inopportune time of the year, because now it's getting really warm outside. It's getting like 70, 80 degrees. Yep. And she's shedding her winter coat. So more hair is coming off and getting caught. And it's just bad. They're probably going to have to like shave a lot of her hair off, and she's going to be a short hair cat for a while, which is going to look ridiculous. But yeah, I need to... So 2 cat things, vet and groom, and a lawyer appointment, and interview, and gosh, there is more. There's more stuff, and I'm streaming Undertale right now. I streamed on Twitch yesterday. I'm probably going to stream as soon as this podcast ends.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just doing a lot, and that's not bad stuff. Everything that I just mentioned is good stuff.
Some big boy adult shit, too.
It's big boy adult shit. It really is.
It sure is.
And,
yeah.
I'm happy it's happening, just because...
Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah, Yeah. It's all good things. All good things. So it's worth being busy, and it's worth all the hustle that it's taking. And
of course,
just me as things are happening, I'm emailing my boss like, hey, can I get this day off work? And hey, can I get this day off work too? And she's just like, yeah, you're good. That's pretty much been my week. I can't think of anything else. I got my last stimulus check.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, so that's what Mimi's doing right now. She's not even in the room. She's we went to Walmart and she spent part of her share on a bunch of plants. It's early springtime, which means it's time to start planting.
Love it.
Bought like 4 succulents, a little tree, like 10 different seeds. We got stuff for peppers and lavender and cherry tomatoes. Just so much spearmint, so much stuff, because we love having green in the house and we love taking care of plants. Last year we grew some strawberries and that plant ended up like producing 2 fruit. Like the first year I think is always the hardest, and then after that, when it dies in the winter and then comes back, it bears more fruit. We had a habanero pepper plant and it grew 1 pepper.
Whoa.
1 tiny pepper. And I harvested it and I cut it in half, and I will sometimes pickle things. I love how I said things. I'll sometimes make pickles. I haven't pickled anything other than a cucumber yet.
Sometimes I'll pickle our couch. Or my
sometimes I'll pickle the car, but the smell's hard to get out, so it's not a regular thing.
Oh man.
So I'll make some pickles, and I just Mimi doesn't eat those anyway because she hates vinegar, so she doesn't like pickles.
Yeah, I think
so.
That's
I'm like,
fine.
These are my pickles anyway. So I threw the habanero pepper in there, and I just let it pickle for a week. And then I came back after a week, and I had spicy pickles, and they were damn good.
I bet they were.
I put some extra garlic in there too, so they were spicy garlic pickles.
Something about habaneros is, like, I think they're one of the more flavorful spices. You know what I mean?
I agree. I'm a huge advocate for never sacrificing flavor for heat. The moment something becomes so hot that it tastes like shit, I'm not enjoying it. I like heat, but only when there's a good flavor to back it up. Don't give me heat for the sake of heat.
Exactly. Like, I'm not a big jalapeno guy. I don't love jalapenos. I think alone, they're kind of gross. Yeah. But you put them on the right salad, or you put them on some pizza, that shit
Put it
slaps.
in a nice guac?
Put it in a nice guac. Yeah. Like,
now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, there are things you can a specific sandwich will taste very, very good. Like there are certain things I like jalapenos on, but when they're done alone or with certain things, it's just like, what's the point? It's just hot for hot.
Yeah, that's
and I don't love that. But habaneros are one of those peppers you can eat by itself. And it's like, damn, that's tasty.
And they're hot too. They're hotter than a jalapeno.
Hot. Yeah, they sure are.
I didn't find any seeds, or else I would have grown some habaneros. I did find jalapenos, so we're growing those. But
nice.
Whatever pepper I grow, depending on how many peppers the plant bears, I might either use it to pickle something else, like I used the habanero for the pickles. If I grow enough of them, I'd love to just pickle some peppers.
Ooh, nice.
I'll Peter Piper this bitch.
Yeah.
And I'll pickle some peppers and
I love it.
Try that because I think that'd be really yummy. Personally.
I have a story about spice. Yeah, so a couple years ago, are you familiar with not the HAR song, but are you familiar with a product called Bang? Nope, not
Energy.
the drink either. Not the drink either. Sorry, I just realized when I said
a product.
Yeah, not Bang Energy.
Define product. Is it a food?
It is a spicy a spicy sauce. Not sauce.
I think so. That sounds familiar.
It comes in a grenade.
Oh, it sounds more familiar.
Yeah, you buy it you have to buy it online. You can't find it at stores. It is from a place. Where's the hottest thing in the world?
Carolina Reaper?
Nope, not the Carolina Reaper. There's one more. There's another thing. It may not be the hottest in the world, but it's like top 3.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but it comes from that place.
Yeah.
It's fucking hot. They say you put a drop of it in a big pot of chili, and the chili will be spicy as fuck.
I have one like that I'll tell you about in a second, but I want to hear your story.
So when I was 16, I had my friends over, and my dad was like, hey, because my dad bought it because he really likes spicy shit. He's like, hey, you guys should play a game. Because this is the person my dad is. My dad was like, you guys should play a game where, you do something, you play a game or whatever, like a drinking game or whatever. But the penalty is, since we're 16 and can't drink, the penalty is you stick a toothpick in that bitch, and then you lick the toothpick with a bunch of bang on it. And we were like, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. So we did. Yo, I ended up. I'm not a person who
flashbang.
Flashbang, thank you. It's called flashbang. Thank you. Fuck, sorry, not called bang. Flashbang. Yeah, so I'm not a person who pukes very often, but when you drink a gallon of milk because your mouth is on fire, I puked the shit out of that shit. Because I did like 3 or 4 toothpicks, and I was like, it's too hot, it's too hot. I also don't handle spice well. I was like, it's too fucking hot, I need to drink milk. So I just kept chugging milk, and my, I believe it was my girlfriend at the time, she was like, hey man, you really should not be drinking that much milk. I was like, I will be fine. And I drank like over a half gallon of milk, and then I walked into the other room and just puked it all up. Stay away from flashbang, because it also doesn't taste good. It's really fucking gross. It's just too hot. It's way too hot to be interesting. Like the show Hot Ones, dude, fuck that show. It's so entertaining, but fuck that show. If I know I'm never going to be on Hot Ones, but if I were on that show, we'd get to the 4th wing and I'd be like, this is not worth it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'd be one of the few people that are just like, I'm not finishing this. Like, this is so pointless. I'm in so much pain. For what? For what? So I'm not a big fan of spice. Spice freaks me out.
So I'm looking at flashbang hot sauce.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that it's a little grenade. That's cute.
It sure is.
Why? One of the questions: why is it shaped like a grenade?
Because flashbang.
How many Scoville units is it?
It's a lot.
It says 3.5 to 5 million.
That's a lot, right?
Oh, that's a ton.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because name a hot pepper. Just a hot pepper. We said habaneros are pretty hot.
Let's talk about habaneros.
If you take like a bite out of a habanero pepper, you're like, ha,
tasty with
tasty with So habanero peppers are rated at like a 100 to 350,000, 100,000 to 350,000 Scoville units.
Yikes!
So it peaks at 350,000.
Yeah, that's the hottest one.
Flashbang, its lowest is 3.5. No. I'm wrong here. It peaks at 350,000. Flashbang starts at 3.5 million and goes to 5 million.
So 10 times the amount at the lowest.
10 times the strength of a habanero pepper.
Yikes.
Okay, I have a hot sauce called Mad Dog 357 25th Anniversary Gold Edition.
Yo, that shit.
You've heard of this?
Yes, I've heard of it.
It's sold with a bullet around the neck of the bottle.
Yeah.
And if you unscrew the bullet and take off the cap, there's a little teeny tiny spoon that holds less than a drop. Like if you took this hot sauce and tilted it until one drop came out, that's too much. The serving is a flat scoop of this hot sauce. And yes, if you put that in your chili's done. It's hot.
Yeah.
Don't fucking put no dashes in this house.
No.
Otherwise, you'll be dashing to the restroom.
Diarrhea joke.
It said, and at a certain point, I don't know when to stop trusting these things.
Right.
But where flashbang peaked at 5 million, no.
Oh no.
Where flashbang peaked at, 5 million.
5 million, yeah. Mad Dog.
This is a more mild, and I hate to say mild because it's just not. This is more mild than a flashbang, but this is the one that like I have in my fridge.
What? For real?
This is at 1 million Scoville.
So 3 times at the smallest.
You
said flashbang was its value was 3.5.
Yeah, the smallest value of flashbang is 3.5. This is 1 million, so it is more mild. However,
that shit's still hot though.
Oh yeah, you have to sign a waiver to buy it.
Yeah, my dad had to sign a waiver for flashbang, and then gave it to children. So I don't know. He probably wasn't being cool. I mean, he was cool. He was a cool dad, but like, definitely probably not supposed to do that.
Yeah, but like this stuff fucking lasts forever, just because with the serving size, you're never going to eat spicy stuff often enough to where you're going to use a bottle. It'll probably expire before you get it halfway down. The bottle that I currently own, I think, was bought for me when I was under 18 by like my ex-girlfriend's dad. Cool guy. Awesome. Cool guy, by the way. Fucking love
Sounds
that
like
guy.
it. By the way, let me say this real quick because my dad got on me for telling that story. This was a while ago, but for telling that story about how he stranded us in the middle of South Carolina heat in July.
Yeah.
My dad's the best. I fucking love my dad. He's a great father.
I love your dad too. Your dad's pretty great.
My dad's the best. He came to me today and was like, what the fuck are you doing telling that story on your podcast? I was like, Dad, first off, it's 20 people who listen. And secondly, I didn't think it was like this is how bad of a father my dad is. It was just kind of like a, Dad, look what you did, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean
one of the classic dad goof.
Classic dad goof. Running out of gas on the highway, that's like every dad does that. Yeah. So I wanted to make things clear, Dad, will be listening at some point. You're a great dad. Okay, moving on.
Can I correct you?
Thanks for the flashbang. Yeah, go ahead.
You said 20 people that listen. I want to kind of toot our own horn here.
Do it. I love my horn being tooted.
The highest viewed episode in like the past month is, not surprisingly, the episode that we had Sub Radio on as a guest.
Hell yeah.
Because a lot of their audience came and they listened because the band was on. And
did they announce it? Did they talk about it to their fans? I never saw anything.
I don't know. I'm in their Discord and I didn't see anything there. I messaged one of them and I was like, where should I post this in the Discord? Like, where's the appropriate place?
Right.
And they directed me to like one specific channel. I posted it there and I heard a lot of good things. Like, there was immediately a dialogue opened, and as like 4 or 5 people in that Discord started listening to it in that moment, they kept like commenting on certain things, and I was able to like keep up with their conversation because, you know, I was there. So
that makes me so happy.
I was just like, hey, that was a good moment, you know, like, hey, that was great, and we do love them. And they said it was funny, they really enjoyed it, and I think some of them might have stuck around. So if you're from that Discord,
I hope so.
Leave a comment. We want to say we love you, because we do.
We really do. We do appreciate you because you have no affiliation with us and you're still willing to listen to us talk. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. Now, that video has 44 views and 7 likes. Which,
damn.
Yeah, which at the current moment is on average about maybe double what we're used to.
Yeah, and that's not even Spotify. That's
Episode 15 is like 23 views. Episode 16 is 28. Episode 17, 25. So we're in the like mid-20s. 44, really good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I can't say last week's episode. At time of recording, hey Christian, last week's episode? But
yeah.
For everyone else, it's going to be the episode 2 weeks ago about AJR's OK Orchestra.
AJR, yeah.
At time of recording, which this is 6 days after its release, without a guest, without anyone...
Nothing, just us, man.
We barely pushed this more than we push anything else. I didn't post a TikTok about it. I didn't publish it on my story, which I really need to start doing again.
I know, me too. I always forget.
I mean, our numbers dropped from about 40 to 50 to like 20 to 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to remind people we're here.
Hell yeah. But we appreciate the 20 to 30 that listen every week.
Oh, we fucking love you guys.
Fuck ton. Yeah, I love you guys.
It has 41 views and 7 likes. So same amount of likes. It's 3 views short of equaling that episode. And that's all organic. That's all just.
Damn straight.
And that's awesome. That is
awesome.
It feels really good.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. That was really fun to do. They're a cool band. We always love talking about them. And you know what? I'm going to do another update real quick. And then we're going to go into the money corner.
Yeah.
Dude, the album slaps, man. I'm loving the fuck out of this album.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know if it's like just an awful thing where it's like Stockholm Syndrome. I'm stuck with it and I keep listening to it. Right. No, now it's good. Yeah. Now it's okay.
I'm going back to it. I keep going back to it. And yes, the re-listenability is way better than I thought. Immediately thought. Mm-hmm. And then I told my mom who watched the episode yesterday, I think, she was like, you really shit on AJR a little bit. And I was like, part of that is I do have very high expectations for them because they are one of my favorite groups. If one of my Jukebox, I fucking love them. They dropped a song a little while ago, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all, and I don't listen to it. Sometimes you hold your favorite band's in very high esteem. And so when they do drop something that you're not a fan of, it's a little bit worse. Like there are some bands that I'm casual fans of. If they drop something I don't like, I'm like, cool, I'll put it with the rest. There's a long list of things that you've dropped that I don't like. That's completely fine. But with people like AJR, they haven't put something out since The Click that I have not saved to my phone.
Yes.
Except for Beats. But Beats doesn't count. It's not a real song.
Yes.
Other than Beats, like they don't put out anything bad. So when this album came out and there was half of it where I was going, like it's because I hold them to set very high standards. But no, they kind of knocked it out of the park. It's a good album. It really is.
It's a fantastic album. I don't think that I'm going to backtrack on the statement that I wouldn't be surprised if it came out between Click and Neo Theater.
Agreed. Yep. 100%.
I don't think I'm going to backtrack on that statement, but that's no longer, I think that's just about the worst thing that I can say. Yeah. Is that it sounds like it belongs in between Click and Neo Theater. But
and I'm not going to go back on my saying that I think some of the lyrics are corny, because some of the lyrics are corny.
Oh, so but you can appreciate it.
Of course. And I'm also not.
Do you like Adventures Out There yet?
It's okay. It's not. I'm kind of like, as I've listened to the song more and more, first off, I catch myself singing it, so that was part of it.
I liked it more after the Zach Sang interview.
Me too. I think it opened up a lot of, not doors for me, but it opened up my eyes a little bit more to the process. And whenever I hear the process of how a song gets done, I have so much more appreciation for it, because I always forget how hard it is and like how much goes into it. But yeah, like I don't know, man. It's still in the lower tier of the album, but
yeah, that's fine.
I don't skip it though, and I've learned to live with the lyrics. Like, some of them are corny, but they're, it's kind of their thing too.
It took me like a year and a half to like Turning Out Part 2.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with that. I completely agree.
But I crank that song now.
Yeah.
I sing that song at the top of my lungs.
Hell yeah.
So sometimes it just takes a little while, and that's okay.
Yeah, and this album definitely feels like that. We're a couple weeks in, and I'm listening to it a lot. I really am listening to it so much.
I listen to it at work. It helps me focus.
Hell yeah. Same.
I'm the kind of person where like I do my best work. I have ADD, so I cannot keep focus. Even sometimes when I take my medication, it takes a while to kick in. So
sure,
until I'm in the swing of things, I have trouble. That's how it is. When I take my medication, as soon as my medication kicks in, there are two things that can happen. One, I can stay unfocused. Even with medication, I have to manually focus myself.
Yeah. If
I never manually focus myself, I'll never get focused. If I do, it's impossible to break me out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what helps me most is I put my earbuds in, I turn my music up to 11. If I have music that I like blasting in my ears, my productivity skyrockets.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. There's something about it that just, I mean, it of course it boosts the serotonin, which helps, gives you those good, happy feelings that like when you're feeling good and happy, you want to get shit done.
By the way, guys, loud music, he's right. Chemically, it gives you more serotonin to crank your music. That is a scientific thing.
Hell yeah. And it makes sense. Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is about that, about cranking music that just like, oh, fuck yeah. Like you just feel so good.
Yeah.
But it just does. It does. And that's why if you're ever listening to music, first off, like my mother does this. I love her to death. I love my mom. She's a wonderful human being. But one thing that drives me nuts is she listens to music just from her iPhone. Like just full, like just that mono signal of right straight through the fucking speakers of the iPhone. You're getting like nothing. You're getting nothing out of that.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it. It's something I never do. I'll listen to a podcast. I'll listen to a YouTube video all the time through nothing. It's fine. But when it comes to music, you got to slap in earbuds or you got to put it into a speaker. You need that stereo sound of like everything coming through.
I agree.
Yeah, so I love her. She's the best mom ever. But that one thing just drives me nuts.
I love that after your dad came up to you about that story, you're trying to preface the fact that like sometimes she listens to music weird with. She's a really good mom. I love her. You're gonna be like, man, she listens to music weird sometimes. She's gonna come up to you and be like, ungrateful son, I swear.
Yeah. You piece of shit child. What the fuck is wrong with you?
How did I raise you? But with that, you want to take it to the money corner?
Let's go to the money corner. I'm gonna grab
I'll see y'all in the money corner, guys.
See you guys in the money corner.
Do some YouTube content?
Let's do some YouTube content. Let me go grab a drink super quick.
Yeah.
I got permission from my fiance. As Seth edited. My fiance has given me permission to grow out my facial hair as much as I want.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a big
Now,
step.
can you grow anything other than like the chin and the stash?
Hey, man. Let's not attack me right off the bat.
No, I'm not attacking. I can look at me.
I know. Yeah, I get a little bit on the left side of my face. It's patchy. It's hard to see it right now because it's not much. And the lighting doesn't help. But it's a little patchy on the left side of my face and then like nothing on the right side of my face. It's very weird. But it's like a whole huge gap in between on my right side. But I get like decently long sideburns. They go pretty far down my face.
Same with the sideburns.
It just doesn't quite connect. Yeah, it just doesn't connect.
I've been cutting them to like mid-ear, which I think is just where they look best. But like,
hell yeah,
for shows, for like theater, I've grown them out to about like where the corner of the jaw is, like all the way down.
Oh wow. There.
Yeah, no. Like hair goes like straight down.
Yeah, but no,
like,
yeah, it is
angle.
mostly that upper lip and chin area. But I like it. I don't think it looks bad. And last time I Last time I shaved it. Logan, my roommate, was like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "I shaved." He was like, "I don't like it. I liked what you had going on." I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" It's the first time I'd ever been complimented on it, so I was like, "Gonna keep it now." I really like it, and
I swear, you can go 20 years never having facial hair. You grow it out.
Yep.
Nobody likes it.
Yep.
You shave it. They go, holy shit, bring it back.
Yeah.
You bring it back, they love it forever.
Yep. So like Logan has the most iconic mustache ever.
Yeah.
And one day he shaved it, and I was like, what the actual fuck did you
Put it back.
Put it back. Because he doesn't grow much else anywhere. He gets a little bit on the chin as well.
Yeah.
But he's got just a great, good mustache. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if you can grow a good mustache and rock it, you keep it forever. You never get rid of it. You never get rid of it. Because a lot of people cannot pull off a mustache. So if you can pull off a mustache, you fucking better pull it off as long as you live, my friend.
In the beginning, I was doing that. Like, my facial hair, like, really... And I don't want to be like, my facial hair really came in at this time, because it still hasn't. It's still very light, and it's patchy.
No, it looks good.
Thank you. I try really hard. But it became present in like early 2020. Before then, like I never really did it.
Right.
But like in the beginning, I was shaving the chin a lot. But I would always keep the mustache and let the chin grow back out. It's because the chin grows back quick and the mustache doesn't. That's why.
It does. Yeah, it does.
If I were to shave everything, then sooner or later I'd have a chin with no mustache. So I'd keep the mustache, I'd shave the chin. And I did that like a couple times, like 3 or 4 times when I'd shave. I'd keep the mustache, and then for like 2 weeks, I'd have a mustache but nothing on the chin. And it's a look. I'm not sure it's the look, but it's a look.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Oh, for sure you have. I think I have some TikToks with it.
Oh, I need to go back and see because I'm usually a big fan of that.
Yeah, this is back when I think the most recent time I did it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the bottle incident.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I need to go back and look.
No,
because,
it's after
like, in my
after
head,
the bottle incident.
In my head, you're rocking it.
Yeah.
But
it
I
was
don't know if
definitely
that's, like,
after the
true
bottle
reality.
incident. All the 10-year-olds on this app called me a millennial, so I got sad and I shaved my beard.
I love it. You know, Leah identifies as a millennial, but like on purpose, like wants to. It's like, why? It's like a given that that's the worst generation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you purposely self-identify? And a lot of it has to do with is her parents are fucking old, and so we've talked about this, I think.
Yeah, we have talked about this before, that every
Whoops.
generation is raised by two different generations.
Yeah.
Depending on whether or not you have young parents or old parents, it really shapes the way that you act. So
It does.
We're both Gen X.
Z.
We're both Gen Z. We're not 40. We're both Gen Z, but
Yeah.
like, I was
raised
raised
by
in the
boomers.
90s. I was born October 1999, but like the
Right.
first 8 to 9 years of my life were stuck in the 90s.
Yes. Big time.
So I act very differently as to someone who is still called Gen Z, but instead of like Dora and Blue's Clues and like Full House, they were raised on like Logan Paul
Yikes.
and like Cocomelon.
Wait, how? Sorry,
What?
wait. Who are you referring to? Are you referring to people with young parents?
Yes.
Bro, I'm like the staple child for young parents. I don't know.
No, but no.
I don't even know what Cocomelon is. I know it's a kids' TV show. But what the fuck is it even about? I'm like, I fucked the shit out of Zaboomafoo.
Yes, you have young parents, but you are also on the older side of Gen Z. Young Gen Z.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
the youngest of the Gen Z crowd?
I believe it's 12. I think they recently said what the cutoff date is.
That's what I'm saying. The
I
Gen Z
think-
age range
yeah.
is born between 97 and 2012/15.
Wow. Wait, you're saying 97 to 2015?
That's what I got.
Wow. I found 95 to 2015, so it's around that same time.
So wait, what is
Between
if you're
4
born in
and 24 years old. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
You cannot define any range of data that broad under one name. You cannot do it.
No. That is an abomination to anybody who is like 22, 23, 24 right now. To put them in the same category as someone who's like literally still shitting you're probably not supposed to be still shitting your pants at 4. But to somebody like who can't like speak really good, I'm trying to think of like what a 4-year-old does. What the fuck does a 4-year-old do? Colors? 20-year-olds still color. There's something nice about it.
I don't know. But it looks like the next generation who was born after Gen Z is Generation Alpha.
Yes.
Which is a fucking dope name.
It is a dope name, and they better live up to it.
They better live up to it. Please live up to it.
Please, because we're on such a, I think we are on an incline of fucking generations. Like, boomers sucking fucking shit, awful, suck.
Yeah.
Most boomers. X isn't too bad. Like the 40.
X isn't too bad.
Yeah, the
X
40 to 60,
strikes
60
like
year olds.
a happy feeling into my heart.
Yeah, so X they kind of did okay.
They's good
Millennials
people.
suck balls. Millennials fucking suck balls. But I feel like they're better than boomers. Most again, like I love my grandparents, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
and they have that going for them because they are.
right. And then Zers are fucking the bomb. They're great.
No, it's the best and worst, depending on how old they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like people say that like Gen Z humor is broken. And while yes, like some of the memes that I have on my phone are ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
I also think like stand-up comedy has had such a big, huge recent uptick because of people our age getting into it. When I went and saw John Mulaney, there wasn't anybody over the age of like 30.
Yeah.
It's all like Zers, unless it was someone's parents, but it's mostly Zers being like, this guy's fucking funny, and he really is.
Which you can't
like,
say shit about comedy. Like, that's such a stupid, like, argument point to have. Just because, like, you can't say that, like, Gen Z's sense of humor is broken when, like, a fucking boomer can read Dilbert. You know the Dilbert comic strip?
Yes.
They laugh at that shit. If you've ever laughed at the Dilbert comic strip, get the fuck out of my house.
All while old millennials and young Xers are laughing at Minion memes on Facebook. Like, don't tell me my humor sucks when you're laughing at Minion memes. Just don't.
Exactly.
Just don't. You're not allowed to.
I'm allowed to chuckle at, like, beans.
Beans?
Monkey beans, spelled with an E. MONKE space beans with a Z.
What the fuck? What is that?
Fucking funny. Anywho, yeah. So I love that when I googled it, when I googled Gen Z, it says that like the latest age range is like 2012 to 2015. Yeah. Members of Gen Z are born between 97 and 2015. So I love the Generation Alpha starts in 2016 because that's the year Harambe died, and it makes so much fucking sense. That's when the world changed.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, not in 2012 when the world ended, but when Harambe died. That's when the world really took a turn.
Yeah, that's when we veered off into the wrong time.
Something else also happened in 2016. You know what though? Actually, real talk, 2016 was a great year for me.
2016 kind of slapped. I think 2016
really
is at least late 2016. I think this is about the time that like the whole, I don't know what to call this era in my life where I started doing shows at a different theater, like in a different city. And that led me to meeting like Miss Malcolm. And then that led me to North Carolina, which led me to meeting you. So I don't know what to call that entire era of my life. Because it was a strange set of coincidences that all had to fall into place for like this to happen.
Yeah.
There were so many places where I just could have been like, no, I won't do the play at this theater because like it's a whole ass city away. Like I have to drive like after my school, because I'm still in school, after my school day in high school, I have to drive like so many miles. Like I have to drive 2 cities over just to attend a rehearsal every night for a week. No, I'm not going to do it. And then I had to do the next show because Miss Malcolm, who came to the dressing room after, she didn't go in the dressing room, but she like knocked on the door and asked to speak with me. She was like, hey, do you want to be in this show? You don't even have to audition, just be in it. I was like, I had to be like, yeah, I'll do that. And then we had to fail to have a costumer so that Miss Colley would come down.
Yep.
And then Miss Colley had to like me.
Yep, Miss Colley had to like you, which is really hard to do. Let's just get that out of the way. I love her to death. She's one of my favorite women in my life. And I'm looking forward to visiting her soon in Florida. But she is one of the hardest people to get to like you.
Yes.
So hard. I can tell you 100 people that she hopes they're dead.
Yeah.
But like there's a select few that she just latches onto. Mm-hmm. And you become like a person in her life.
And I was one of them.
And you were one of them, my friend. You know what's funny? I'm not.
Yeah.
Me and her had a difficult relationship. There were multiple shows where she was just so frustrated with me. And it was because the second I started doing theater there, I didn't stop till I graduated. I was the only actor to ever to do consecutive shows all 4 years of my high school.
Yes.
All 4 every single year.
Yeah.
And the second I joined in 7th grade, I didn't stop doing, including her summer shows. I didn't stop doing shows with her. So we were just like, and I took all her theater classes. Every year I was at the school, I took her theater class 7th period. So like, I just spent so much time with her that we would go at it sometimes. Like she would get frustrated with me because I'm naturally a frustrating person. And I would get frustrated with her because she is naturally a frustrated person. Yeah. And so we just constantly had this back and forth. And I'm never one to kiss up. I don't like kissing up to people.
Oh, for sure.
I'll be nice. I'll be nice if I think you're a cool person and I enjoy it. So I was nice and I was always cordial. Yeah. But I'm not one to kiss up. And she tended to like people who kissed up. And I just never gave it the satisfaction. So yeah,
that's fair.
We just had
that's totally fair.
Yeah. But I know for a fact she would say that I'm one of her favorite actors she's ever worked with, and I can say definitively she is my favorite director I've ever worked with. So like ultimately it's a healthy, good relationship.
I understand that relationship too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I get it.
I think everyone has an adult like that in their life.
Yeah. It's like there are just these select places where it doesn't work, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad relationship and that you all think negatively of each other.
Absolutely. There's mutual respect, I think.
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, like a lot of things had to happen in order for me and you to meet in order to get this podcast done.
Right?
And you had to have the idea and like pitch it.
Yeah.
And I had to say yes. Even though like we have to do it remotely and it kind of blows that we have to do it remotely. I love doing it. It's
Dude,
a blast,
can you imagine what it's going to be like when we're doing this in person? Because so often one of us will say something and we won't hear it and we'll have to be like, wait, what? And
exactly.
we can't read each other's facial expression.
Yep.
You know, when this is in person, oh my God.
Dude, sometimes I'll say a joke and you will laugh, but I don't know you're laughing because you're doing a silent laugh. Because everyone silent laughs sometimes.
And then so you think your joke tanked, so like your energy drops.
And we'd stop doing the bit and like, oh, that shit frustrates me so much.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch the episode and I'll be like, oh, he did laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That shit sucks. Yeah, I can't wait to do this in person.
100%. All right. Bye, YouTube. We love you.
Bye, YouTube. We love you so much. Mwah!
Bye. Bye. And welcome back, everybody. Thank you for listening to that sweet, sweet ad.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Just to kind of, not in closing, we're not wrapping up, but like as our parting thoughts. You had something about your week that you were interested in telling me, and I'm interested to hear it.
Yeah. So this won't take too long.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to talk about. Did you see my story the other day?
Yes.
The one that was way too long.
Yes.
Dude. Fuck. Absolutely fuck possums.
Hot take.
Remember when we Remember? Yeah, big hot take. Fuck possums. They're not cute. They're disgusting creatures. Do you remember when we talked about chihuahuas?
Yes.
Dude, I put this below a chihuahua.
Oh my God.
It goes below a chihuahua. It is the most horrid creature on the face of this planet.
Our take on chihuahuas was that it's like the only domesticated animal that's like actively trying to go feral, like actively trying to become undomesticated, like turn back into a wolf.
Dude, I think that's my favorite line you've ever dropped on this. Sorry, that is my favorite line that has ever been dropped on this podcast. That chihuahuas are the only domesticated animal that are actually trying to turn feral. Dude, every time I hear that, I die laughing. It's so good.
If you put this below a chihuahua, I definitely think that I can say with confidence that, like, possums might be one of the only creatures who aren't trying to revert back to, like, whatever they were before. They're just trying to actively go against the evolutionary chain.
They're just trying to go with the flow. They don't do it.
It's not like they're remaining stagnant, though. They're just trying to become worse at being a possum. They're hardly animals anymore.
No, they're not. I don't need demons. Do you want to call them monsters? Just go ahead and call them demons. Here's the thing. When I put up that story, there were two people. There were two different types of people. There was one person who was like, "Oh, you're so right. Possums are gross." And then there were people who were like, "No, but they're so cute. They're so they're not. Watch them devour a squirrel in 10 seconds. It's horrifically disgusting and you'll cry. You will cry." So okay, let's just talk about what happened.
Yeah, let's dial it down. Let's set the scene.
So I'm delivering for Domino's Pizza, like I usually am on a weekend. And I'm going, I had a run that was going a certain way. I had to take a certain road. So I'm taking that road, and there is a possum hunched over in the middle of the road. So it's not the middle of the road. There's two lanes, and then there's a lane in between that you use as a turning lane. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you need to turn left. So there's that lane. So no one drives in that lane. So he's safe, unfortunately. So he's hunched over. Just like, you know what? You won't be able to see this, but this is what it looked like. Hold on. I'm going to take off my headphones. It looked like that. So he's doing that. I guarantee I just looked so ridiculous. Yeah. He's doing that. And I'm like, what the fuck? First off, I couldn't even tell what it was because it's ginormous. I don't know if you saw the possum. That thing was huge.
Yeah, no, it was really big.
It was the biggest possum I've ever seen. So he's massive. I thought it was a dog eating something on the side of the road. I was like, oh shit, that doesn't look good. So I drive by it and I kind of like slow down and I turn around and he's going like this. He's going with his mouth wide open, blood dripping from his mouth with organs, like a large intestine just like in between his teeth, folding out from his mouth. It was putrid. It was so horrific to look at. And he just did that for 3 hours. He just walked around the same location, just presenting his open mouth with blood and organs to every passerby. So I had 3 runs going that way. So every time I had to go down the road and pass him back. I did that 5 times. On the last time, I did not go down that road. I was way too scared.
You refused.
That possum was giving me tremendous anxiety, and I couldn't handle going back because I kept thinking about him. I thought about him all night, eating.
It honestly sounds like an Edgar Allan Poe poem.
I was laying in bed. This is serious. It's so ridiculous, but I was laying in bed, and I was like, what if he's like at the foot of my bed, and the second I fall asleep, I'm going to wake up and he's like ripping my chest open and like pulling out my heart and eating it. What a ridiculous thought to have.
That's Poe. That's pure Poe right there.
So Edgar Allan, oh no, I really
Possum.
shouldn't say that. Possum, yeah, I was going to say
Edgar
Possum,
Allan
like,
Possum.
I don't know if I should say that.
You should
Edgar
say
Allan
it.
Possum.
Do you realize what podcast you're on? Say it.
It's true. Fucking Edgar Allan Possum. And then after work, coincidentally, it's the same road that I take to get home. So I needed to go home, and I was tired. It was like 3 a.m. It had been 4 hours since I had seen this man, because it wasn't a possum at that point. This was a man, and I had a vendetta. Yeah. So I passed down, and I saw him, and I wasn't going to hit him, guys. I wasn't going to hit him. However, if I just happened to sneeze at the wrong time, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah.
So I'm driving down, and I see, and he's like hobbling, and he's really upset. And I still do to this day. I don't know what he ate. He ate the whole fucking thing. I don't know what it was.
There were no bones.
There were no bones. I'm telling you, there wasn't anything in the road. But when I passed by it, there was blood on the road. But there was no remaining anything. All the things that made up that corpse was gone and inside the possum's stomach. So when I passed by, it was just a big pool of blood. I couldn't see anything else. Mm-hmm. And he's way off to the side, just like kind of laying against the curb. Yeah. Trying to walk around. And he just kind of kept walking in a circle. He reminded me of like someone who drank too much. And they're just like, fuck, I can't. If I move, I'm going to die. I think I'm going to die. And then he kept circling in little tiny spots. And I didn't go home for 20 minutes because I kept turning around and going back and seeing him. Yeah. This possum was in my head rent-free for like 5 hours. And then again that night. And then the next day it was Easter. And I was on my way to see my folks. And I, of course, have to take that road. And he was dead on the side of the road. Whatever he ate killed him. He hadn't been run over. There were no like tire marks or anything, and he wasn't squished. Like I've seen plenty of run over possums, and they look run over. This one was not run over. He just died from whatever he ate. So I'm very curious what the fuck he could have eaten. Because did you know that possums can't get rabies?
I did not know that.
That's okay. I don't want to say that because somebody told me that. He said they were one of the few creatures on this planet that cannot get rabies because they eat rats and they eat cockroaches and they eat a lot of gross shit. Yeah. Like that's one of the main predators of a lot of small like gross rodents or bugs. So they can't get rabies. Oh yeah, can possums get rabies? No, they can't. Yeah, possums cannot carry rabies.
Can they give rabies?
No, they can't. They can't carry it. They can't have it. They can't have rabies. Cannot. It doesn't affect them at all. They don't get it.
So if you get bit by a possum, you know you're safe from rabies.
You are safe from rabies. Now they may.
But you're not safe because the possum has now got a taste.
You're not safe because a demon has inhabited your body.
You've been marked.
Yeah, they don't carry diseases, but they carry demons.
Run.
Can we also just talk? Why do they always look like they're sporting a comb over? Possums are so
they're all middle-aged.
Yeah, every possum at birth is gifted a comb over, and they have to live with their comb over for their entire life. It's disgusting, man. Their hair is all stringy. Just don't have hair. Why don't you just not have hair? Just get rid of it. Shave your head, possums. You'll look so much better. Just sport the bald look. Stop rocking the comb over. Whew. What do you think about possums?
Did you get it out?
I think I got it out of my system. I don't think I'm going to think about that possum anymore. What do you think of possums?
Gosh, I mean, I'm kind of neutral. I don't quite have a vendetta. I'm more on the negative side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't quite like possums. I sent you a picture on Discord.
Oh, joy. I also hate movies that are like, see, look how... Dude, that thing is a fucking... It's a felon. They're a felon. They've committed crimes.
You said just don't have hair at that point, so that's a hairless possum.
God, it looks like a fucking lizard. Dude, it's horrific. That thing is disgusting. Seth, put it on the board.
No.
God, trigger warning, trigger warning. This thing will haunt you. What the actual shit? It looks like a rat lizard. Gosh.
Looks like a rat bastard.
Rat bastard. What person could honestly look at that and go, aw? You can't. You'll puke before you say aw. That's disgusting. Why does it have hair on its ankles? Why does it have ankles? Oh, I can't look at it. I can't look at it any longer. That's so disgusting. We did get a message. I did get a message from one Tyler, who has been on this podcast before.
Yeah.
I told him, because he was one of the few that messaged me and going, no, they're so adorable and they're so helpful to nature and blah 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 blah.
Maybe Canadian possums.
That's what he messaged. He was like, are we thinking of the same creature? And I was like, send me a picture of a possum. And he sent me the disgusting thing that is a possum. And I was like, yeah, that thing, that horrible animal. He was like, no, they're adorable and they're really helpful to nature. No, they are not, Tyler. No. And we're going to have him on for a segment, just a little segment. And we're going to talk about possums and we're going to argue. We're going to do a formal debate. Jim, you'll be our moderator because you are indifferent. I'm glad you answered.
Yeah.
You don't feel any particular way about possums. You're here to present the facts and you're here to moderate our debate. We're going to have a formal debate about possums on this channel.
And I'm ready to do that.
Me too. I'm pumped.
I'm ready to do that next week.
Woo! Maybe next. I don't want to. I may have to gather some notes.
No, that was just that was just my segue into saying goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. With that, with the whole possum debate, I do want to thank our sponsors one more time. I also want to give a huge thank you to both Miller and Jamie, who both are subscribed to give monthly donations to the podcast. If you would like to, and can do so as well, just to make sure that your listening and viewing pleasure are as great as they possibly can be, you can go to anchor.fm, that is anchor.fm/anythingbut, and that'll bring you to our homepage, where there's a little subscribe button, and you can do so for 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or $9.99 a month. And that is a huge help to us to keep everything good. So that wraps it up for me. Leaving on the note of possum hate.
It's a good one.
This is a possum slander podcast.
Ooh, that rolls off nicely. A possum slander podcast.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that. Yeah. ABP. Always.
Anything but possums.
Anything but possums. Always bitch about possums. I love it. ABP. Always. I'm trying to think of always hate possums, but that would be a different letter.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's not going to
Anyway, we love you guys.
Possums, everybody. We love you so much. Mwah.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Fuck yeah.